Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rachak Kodash. Double honors unto the elders, apostles, great millstone, the elders, great millstone, and of course, peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect. The sincere servants of Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, serving him in truth and sincerity. Yeah, of course, we're out here in Babylon, great teaching the word of the Holy Scriptures. And and of course, prophesying the downfall of Babylon and Great, which is America, which of course, that's where we're located in right now currently. So if real quick, you can get me Psalm chapter 64. Because hey, you just had that recent video about the former public advisor. Try not to use any buzzwords, but hey, you pretty much had that. Had that former public advisor who pretty much was exposing what they were doing, for these lockdowns, and for you already know what happened in 2020. Well, he was basically exposing what they were doing. So you can go ahead and read that real quick, and I'm trying to pull that up.
Yeah, it's the book of Psalm 64 and 1. It says, "Hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who wet their tongue."
Yeah, can you read verse 2 again?
Verse 2, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity."
Yeah, so there you have it. And from the secret counsel of the wicked, and ultimately what Esau Edom, which is a so-called white man, he's the one who's planning, or starting with the elite international bankers, which are all Edomites, really mainly Amalek, the chief tribe of the nation Edom. Though those are the people who are in power. Amalek, of course, are the small hats, the people who call themselves the children of the Lord today. Over there in the land of Israel, they call themselves the children of Israel, which of course are complete imposters. Yeah, and these are the people who are in power, which, hey, the scriptures say, which we're about to read into it, how, their tongue is going to fall upon them, which again, that former public advisor for NYC, he's pretty much saying how, it was that sea, you already know that pestilence that just passed, or, it's still here, but the main part of it, well, in 2020 when the lockdowns came and all that, the mandates came. Hey, he literally admitted how it was set up. The people at power, use that to force the people to take that, what.
Yep.
Yeah, and also what he was saying while they were throwing out the lockdowns and mandates, he literally said that they're going underground, under banks, and literally having sex parties. They're celebrating, they're having sex parties, and they're under just going underground.
Yeah, they were already doing that.
Yeah, they're already been doing that. But hey, as the scriptures say, their tongues will fall upon them. So more of this stuff is going to be exposed. Well, what Esau has really been doing this whole entire time. Yep. So you can you read that, and then you can keep on going.
Psalm 64 and 2. "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words."
Yeah. They're constantly putting out new laws and new, more oppressive mandates and laws into effect, and they're still doing that. But hey, we got a glimpse of how far Esau can go with his mandates, completely shutting down everything, completely locking down everything, to the point where if you don't take that, you won't be able to get a job. You're gonna lose your job, if you don't take it.
Yeah.
So hey, we already see what's happening.
Yeah, because that Esau's whole goal is to make a society that's dependent on taking the charagma. Okay, that's what he wants. The scriptures go into, you won't be able to buy or sell without it. All right. So Esau is actively making a world that as time progresses, to make the people be like, oh, I just need to take the charagma, you know, to solve all my problems, you know, to get out of this debt, you know, to whatever disease I have, you know, I need this charagma to get some help, you know.
Yeah, and that's what's coming there. Yeah, again, them signs and wonders, man. Esau's gonna present these different signs and wonders, making it seem like, okay, yeah, it has this benefits. Yeah, you know, it'll be seamless with the technology that we have. You know, you'll be integrated. Everything will become much easier, more convenient.
They don't even have electric cars down there.
Yeah.
How the hell that's gonna be a damn true statement?
Yeah, sure. You know,
it'll be convenient. That's probably the only statement they well, in the beginning, because it ends nuclear fire if you take it. But convenient in the beginning, and then some of you are going to develop different diseases.
Yeah.
Taking electronic devices into your flesh.
Yeah, you know, hey, even though
illusion of convenience.
Yeah, you know, hey, and even though Esau's trying to push, okay, but I recently just did a lesson how Elon Musk said that if you take that Neuralink, then pretty much you'll become a superhuman, you know, for quoting pretty much loosely quoting his words. That's what he was saying. You'll become a superhuman if you take it. Which, hey, you know, you might have a short period where, you know, you're on this level, you're able to tap into the internet, and then what? Maybe 1 week later, some bug happens, and you know you start bugging out. Your mind starts going out of control. Then you got to go back to Esau to get the V2 of the MOTB, man.
There was a movie about that. I'm not sure if it was called Implant or
Upgrade.
When the dude got the they made him experience his fears came true. The spider. I don't know if that's the same movie. He had I believe he had the implant in his brain, and one of the scenes was he was thinking of something, but he was thinking of one of his fears. He had arachnophobia, and then the spider just came alive and started attacking him, but it was all in his brain. I think it was. Upgrade.
Hey, so hey, you know, and literally any, you know, hey, and literally any technology that Esau makes, I don't care how secure they try to market it or advertise it, every single piece of technology is hackable. These things are, and also what they're still releasing. You know, it's been what 40 years, 50 years since software has been out. Yet there's still bugs within the software. So you know, what makes you think that this MOTB, which is the RFID chip, the RFID implant? Yeah, you know, what makes you think that this is going to be free of bugs? Because obviously Esau's going to push that, okay, this thing's free of bugs, it's highly secure. You know, nobody's going to be able to hack your identity if you take it. Just like how, you know, every single other piece of technology that Esau pushes, where, you know, he deems as secure, I mean, obviously it's just it's just, you know, for ads and advertisement, you know.
Yep. Yeah, and I want to say too, these people don't realize how serious this is, right? Because you know, it's going to be a lot of people who's taking that C-hip, because you got a lot of people saying, you know, oh, I'm not going to take it, getting all these different health problems, and you know, probably doing something to your mind, you know, to be swayed into taking it, man, you know.
Yeah. You're already having a lot of people saying how ever since they took it, they haven't been feeling the same. Ever since they took it, they haven't felt the same, man.
Exactly.
And hey,
so you never know. Whatever Esau, you know, with the nano bots or whatever, you know, Esau could probably put some type of frequency in it to make these people convinced to taking it, you know.
Bug out. And also, you had that movie, I think. What was the Kingsman? Where they pretty much turn up.
Which one?
I forgot which one. One of the movies where, you know, at the end they turned up the frequency, then everybody started bugging out.
Yep.
Hey, that's coming too.
That could very well happen too.
You know, it's no coincidence why they're trying to create tie the grid with these different 5 generation towers.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Hey, they're not doing that for any reason. You can keep reading.
Yeah.
What verse are you at?
Psalm 64 and 3.
Con, you can read that and you can just keep on going.
Psalm 64 and 3. Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
Yeah, and the perfect represent the Israelites. Ultimately, the main people on their list are the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos. That's why that juice was mainly directed towards our people. Joe Biden said that, how literally using his words, blacks, Native Americans, Latinos. He literally said those three groups of people, they're at the highest risk of catching, So they have to take that juice. That's what he was saying. That's not just for any reason.
Nope.
That's not because Esau cares more, for the Israelites more than any other people. Nah, he obviously hates us the most. We can get that in Psalm chapter 83, but you can stay there.
Yeah.
But it says in Psalm chapter 83 how these other nations are confederate with one another to try to take down the nation of Israel. Their whole goal is to exterminate the Israelites.
Yeah, and the scriptures go into that, how the other nations forwarded the affliction,
Oh yeah, Khan.
Yeah.
They're not letting up.
Yep.
So yeah, the perfect represent the Israelites.
Yep.
And that's who their main target is.
Yep.
So you got Inception, you got the Matrix. Although I have to do with the brain chip.
God.
You can say the Truman Show too. They didn't really show chips, but his whole life was being recorded. I'm still looking for that movie though, but it's not Upgrade. Upgrade is a good movie, but it's different.
But yeah, you can keep on reading.
Book of Psalm 64 and 5. It says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them?
Yeah, and keep in mind, this former public advisor, I gotta go back to his name, but pretty much he looks like a bugged out Elamite. That's what he looks like. Pretty much he was saying during, again, as soon as they were pretty much when they're mandating a lockdown, or they're sending out the lockdowns, they're telling people to do stay 6 feet apart. Meanwhile they were doing that. They're hiding, or they're literally celebrating and having sex parties. And this guy literally said that they're taking Molly, within these sex parties, man. And again, these are the people. These are the type of people who are at power, who make decisions for our nation.
Yep. And that's why, that's the same reason, they be having these Jakes doing it, right? These so-called celebrities, all right, these high entertainers, high rappers, musicians, artists, all right. If you on that type of level, if you on any of that type of level, best believe, you doing the stuff that these top leading Edomites is doing, right?
Yeah, the Jakes within the Boule.
Yep.
Jay-Z, LeBron, Diddy.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously they're.
Yeah. Why do you think every celebrity is attending these parties, these secret, so-called secret parties? What do you think they're doing in these parties, man?
Exactly.
However, at any time, Esau could just, persecute him whenever he pleases.
Yeah,
right?
and anyways, Esau uses them as a distractions.
Yeah.
This whole Diddy thing is just a distraction, man. You're telling me it's been all these years, and now apparently they're just finding out, releasing all this evidence and footage and proof that the Diddy is a guy who he is, and he did this and did that. Now it's all coming out.
Yep.
So obviously, all that is just is set up.
Yeah.
Even though it's true, it's still set up. Esau chooses when he wants this stuff to come out at the right time.
Yeah.
I got the movie. It's a Black Mirror episode.
Black Mirror.
It's called Playtest. Playtest. Watch that episode. Must watch episode. Black Mirror Playtest. He experienced. Well, you'll see it. Black Mirror Playtest. All right. Black Mirror Playtest. Must watch episode. All right. In the one scene, they make him experience. Well, he experiences what he's thinking about, and it's he's afraid of spiders. So that was a heavy scene. I've been watching it a while. I gotta go back and watch it. But it's pretty good. Pretty good episode.
Con.
A lot of detail, a lot of information, a lot of good points. Not just about the chip, but a few other points in the movie also.
God, so you can keep on reading.
Psalm 64 and 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of land snares privily. They say, who shall see them?
Yeah, exactly. So meanwhile, they're using the media as deception and a distraction, and they're throwing out all this propaganda, and again, just all these distractions that they keep you away from their ulterior motives.
Yeah, man. Just and keeping up with all that is just being too invested in all that. It's just folly, man. It's like this is not any type of new news, but yet when it comes out, everybody's like act so surprised, man. This is like scratching the surface, of the knowledge, man. We going into the prophecies, man. We looking into the coming of the sea here. We looking into the the tensions rising in the so-called Middle East, man. All right, we looking at the the prophecies, the signs, discerning the signs of the times, man. All right, these different celebrities and things like that. All right, that's not a part of the major prophecies coming to this place, man. All right, Jacob's trouble, man. All right, the dollar about to crash. Okay, it's a lot of different things going on. And whenever Esau puts out one of these big distractions, such as this whole Diddy situation, all right, people put their attention towards that,
Yeah, right. Meanwhile, you got literally all these different wars happening currently at the moment.
Yep.
And Esau's moving towards ultimately moving this society towards being cashless and ultimately preparing that way for the MOTB, the mark of the beast, that's spoken about in Revelation chapter 13 and 16.
Yep.
That's his ultimate goal, but as he keeps on moving with his agenda, he's gonna keep on throwing out more distractions.
Yep.
What, a few months ago you had the Drake versus Kendrick.
Yep.
Yeah, he said he colonized or some shit.
Bullshit. That was the big thing. Yeah, he said.
I heard about it. I didn't hear it. I was secondhand.
Yeah, he said Drake was a colonizer and all
on
this.
his mother's side, he's actually talking about the so-called Jays then.
Yeah.
Technically, because he was bar mitzvah at 13 or 12 or whatever. So Esau thinks he's an actual, which he's not. They don't accept him as a real Jay.
Yep.
His father's a so-called black dude.
Yep. Yeah, that was the whole thing. That Kendrick and Drake, they just kept dropping diss tracks.
Yeah, you're telling me they're riding that fast, and then just recording a video.
They already had this shit already.
Yeah. Yeah, come on,
make
man.
money and sell products. Product placements,
Hey, shoot, it's a whole process to make a song. You got to write the song, or a lot of rappers don't even write the songs anymore.
Yeah, not to mention how things really kicked off. Kendrick came because Kendrick, he'll pop up every like few years, 5 years or something, and he just came out with a track, with a diss track. It just seems too planned.
He already had it in the chamber.
Yeah, he just had it. He just had it ready for the right time.
Yeah. Hey, and keep in mind, all these different artists, they're all bound to the record labels. They can't release anything unless the record labels give them the go ahead.
Yep.
So hey, you can go back.
Psalm 64 and 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Yeah, they accomplish a diligent search. How can we make this come to pass? What they go real deep into that.
Yep.
They, throw out different experiments to see how the people, how the masses are going to react, and they adjust accordingly. So hey, that's what they do. They accomplish a diligent search in order to make their agenda come to pass.
Yep. Psalm 64:7. But Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded.
Yeah, so Song Yahweh Bashim Shai is ultimately what? I mean, hey, at the end of the day, Esau isn't doing his own will. Esau is doing exactly what the Lord wanted him to do. This is all prophecy. For Esau to again, come with all these different things, to have the world in this way, the society in this way. Again, all of that is prophecy, and that's exactly what Yahweh Bashim Shai wanted. But guess what? The Lord is going to be the one to take down Esau.
Yep.
Once Yahushua comes back, guess what? Esau's kingdom is done. Yahushua is coming back to conquer all nations. Meanwhile, again, and Yahushua is coming back in the midst of World War III. America's gonna fall. Yeah. America's gonna be destroyed 100%. That's what's coming.
Yeah, and at that time, everything is going to be completely revealed. Esau right now, he still has some sort of, secret counsel. He can do something and go into hiding, not be seen. But hey, when the Lord come back, because the Lord sees everything. So when the Lord come back, there's nothing Esau can do. All right, nothing the Space Force. All right, the underground bunkers. Yeah. All right, these different technology that Esau has, all right, it's gonna come. Hey, that's not gonna work against Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man.
Right. Esau's gonna be trying to hide, in space or whatever.
Yep.
Because that's why you have SpaceX and these different space programs that exist. Because eventually, Esau, or as soon as possible, Esau wants to be able to escape the world. As soon as things really kick off World War III, Esau wants to already be out of this planet, either in a bunker or literally in space.
Yep.
Which, hey, being in space, that's the worst thing you do, man. Because literally Yahushua and the holy angels, Yahushua with this multitude of angels is coming back.
They're closer up there.
yeah. You think not because in some movies, pretty much Esau shows his different what's it called, the camo, or the how do you say, the camouflage abilities that some of these spacecrafts can do, or aircrafts can do. They show that in different movies. Esau really thinks that he could hide from the Lord, man, doing all that just dumb stuff.
Yeah, they're literally actually sitting up there in space.
Yep.
And on the earth too, but they're actually sitting up there in space. If you were to go up there and in a vision or a dream, you would beat them up there. And go back to those sex parties that those elite were having that control our government. They're all involved in witchcraft.
Yep.
It tells you in Isaiah 47. It says, "Stand down with thine enchantments and with thy multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if thou be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail." So they're all involved in witchcraft in some form or another. Some orgy got to do with deletion, oppression. They're all involved in it. All those elite people that you see on TV. All right, whether it be got to do with anything, with the vampire shot, taking drugs, or you got to do with the blockbuster movies, big movies.
Yep.
Whether it be directors, writers, they all have the organ. Now there are layers to it. You have points where you're out on the outside, and then you got more so inside. But they're all have to take some type of secret order or instruction. All right. 47:12. Stand now with thine enchantment, with thine assemblies of sorcerers, and with the multitude of witchcrafts, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so, be thou shalt be able to profit. Thou art weary. 13th verse. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels and thine enchantments. Let now thy astrologers and stargazers and monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things. Thou shalt come upon thee. Yeah. All right, so that's Esau, Edom. All right, just like the ancient Babylonians were involved in the different witchcraft. That's like the Canaanites were, and the Moabites, all the nations were. And the Babylonians, Assyrians were high-level witches. They take after what it says in the first verse. Come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit in the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. So we know it's not talking about the ancient Babylonians, it's talking about the new Babylonians. All right. So when Isaiah wrote this, he didn't know exactly what the breakdown was, but he knew it was different because he said it different. He said virgin daughter of the Chaldees. So he couldn't quite put his finger on it, more than likely, but he knew this was a great prophecy. All right.
Yeah, that's right. And what? Ultimately, Esau is even increasing within his sorceries and enchantments. You know, I literally just did a video how Esau's using or literally creating AI or preparing AI to be able to combat so-called conspiracy theorists. You know, that's exactly what Esau is, trying to prep AI to do.
Well, with social media.
Yeah.
Videos online.
Yeah.
That's how we get our information anyway. So they can control the how it's disseminated. Then they can control the narrative. And then Isaiah, when he saw, I'm not sure if Isaiah lived after, he might have died before the fall of the Babylonian Empire. As soon as the prophets saw that the Babylonian Empire got taken over by the Medes, they knew that they was talking about ancient Babylon. All right? Now, if they were still alive, they may have thought it was talking about ancient Babylon. But if they died, they may have, in the prophecy, talking about Babylon's going to be destroyed. They may have thought it was talking about ancient Babylon.
Yep.
But they lived through, like Daniel did. Daniel knew. Daniel lived through the Assyrian Babylonian captivity and the Medes and the Persians. So he knew that it wasn't talking about the ancient Babylon because they were still they were taken over by the Persians, and the ancient Assyro-Babylonians didn't go out by fire. All right.
Yep.
And Daniel knew the difference between the Assyro-Babylonians and the Persians. They're different ethnic group. So he didn't have the complete understanding, but Daniel knew it wasn't talking about the ancient Babylon. All right, when he went by the books.
Right.
It said, Jeremiah said that. He said we put to serve for 70 years. Daniel said, get the book of Daniel, it says we are commanded by the Most High God to serve the king of Babylon for 70 years. All right. I believe Daniel was reiterating what Jeremiah said. So fact check that. Daniel was reiterating, he said he knows by the books, I believe he says that. That's a phrase. By the books, that desolation should be upon Jerusalem for 70 years, something like that. Yeah. Serve the king of Babylon, you got it?
Yeah.
Where you read from?
I'm going to read from Jeremiah 29 and then Daniel 9.
Good, exactly, good.
Yep. This is Jeremiah 29 and 10. It says, for thus saith the Lord, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon.
Read again.
This is Jeremiah 29 and 10. For thus saith the Lord, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon.
After 70 years, good.
I will visit you and perform my good word toward you and causing you to return to this place.
Meaning under the Medes and the Persians, I believe, I forget exactly what king. What was it? The seed of the Medes or the seed of the Persians. But that's when we started rebuilding the second temple. That's when we were fighting to, one with a sword in the hand. I believe that's tells that in Ezra's. And it was a builder that also had to carry a sword with him to fight the other nations off, stopping our people from rebuilding the second temple. All right, 70 years. Go ahead.
Yep. And then you get to Daniel.
No,
Okay,
read it again. Read that again.
Read again. All right, yeah. This is Jeremiah 29:10. Well, it's actually multiple accounts, but this is Jeremiah. Yeah, it's one before. I'll read it. Jeremiah 25:11. It says, "And this whole land shall be a desolation and an astonishment, and these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. And it shall come to pass when 70 years are accomplished that I will punish the king of Babylon and that nation, saith the Lord, for their iniquity, and the land of the Chaldeans, and will make it perpetual desolations." Yeah, this is Daniel 9:2. "In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by books the number of years, whereof the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah the prophet, that he would accomplish 70 years in the desolations of Jerusalem."
Yeah, so it read that Babylon was going to be taken out by fire. Daniel witnessed that Babylon was not taken out by fire. So Daniel knew, because he was the wisest man on earth at the time, that it wasn't talking about ancient Babylon, but he didn't know exactly what it was talking about. All right? Sure. Then you go to Isaiah 47. It says in 14, "Behold, they shall be stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame." Babylon, the daughter of Babylon. So Isaiah more than likely died when we were in captivity under the Assyro-Babylonians. All right? But Isaiah more than likely didn't completely understand it, because from his understanding that Babylon was going to be destroyed by fire. All right? So he may have thought that it was talking about ancient Babylon, but there is a difference in his prophecy, because it says, "O daughter O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldees." All right? So he didn't have the full understanding on that breakdown. Now, in his reincarnation, in his future self, he got the understanding, because he's a prophet. All right? So we know there's a difference between the original Babylon and the daughter of Babylon. All right?
Yep.
And Daniel, he actually lived through it. He saw that ancient Babylon was not destroyed by fire. All right? And he had Isaiah to reference and Jeremiah to reference, the prophets that was both before him. All right? So read that again in Daniel's.
Yep. Daniel 9:2. "In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood."
9:1.
Daniel 9:1. "In the first year of Darius, the son of Assuerus, of the seed of the Medes,
Sorry, so it wasn't Medes. All right.
which was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans, in the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by the books of the number of years, whereof the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah the prophet, that he will accomplish 70 years in the desolations of Jerusalem. And I set my face unto the Lord power, to seek by prayer and supplications, with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. And I prayed unto the Lord my power, and made my confession, and said, O Lord, the great and dreadful Yahweh, keeping the covenant and mercy to them that love him, and to them that keep his commandments, we have sinned and have committed iniquity, and have done wickedly, and have rebelled, even by departing from thy precepts and from thy judgments.
You hold it right there.
Yep.
All right. So there's a difference between ancient Babylon and modern day Babylon. All right, and it gives you how we know that the prophecy didn't come to pass yet, because it has not been destroyed by fire. All right. I always talk about Babylon being destroyed by fire. All right, and then it has more than one name, not just called Babylon. All right, it's called Sodom, Egypt, Assyria. All right, it has many names. All right, but the proper name here is America. All right, and America has different figurative or spiritual names, or figurative and spiritual names, which is Babylon, Sodom,
Yep. Rome,
Assyria. All right, it's known as Rome, or biblically it would be iron teeth that crush stamps the residue with the feet. It's described. Rome is described as that, and then the reincarnation of Rome. All right, what talks about the toes, and basically out of those toes formed America came out of the different toes, mainly Britain. All right? But the different European countries, they make up America. Because Europe, basically all the so-called Edomites, Caucasians, they came and formed America, came from the different old toes, the miry clay and all that. So they make up America. They're mainly British, Spanish, British, Germans, French. All right. Mainly Britain. A little bit more. It says 47:2. Take the millstone, grind the mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. You just reading that in Psalms, right? Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and will not meet thee as a man. All right, meaning the Lord's going to come back as a total spiritual force. All right, total angel. Basically, Yahweh Shai is going to come back as an angel, full-powered angel. All right, and just so he can be looked upon by the heathen and by wicked-ass Israelites, he's going to have to depower himself. All right, well, even us too, because we were in a change of darkness. Just so we can look on his full vistage, he got to depower himself, hide himself. All right. Now in the chariots, but he's gonna be hiding in the chariots. Now Shai hides himself all the time, so he's gonna be hiding in the chariots. Like the angels gonna be hiding in the chariots. And then when they make the appearance, it's gonna be terrifying. We don't know what they're gonna look like. Right? They could look like men. They could look like beasts. All right. But they're not gonna be in a full angelic form. But then we'll fucking melt. They're in a full angelic form. They're going to depower themselves, like a Saiyan would go down in like a regular form, Super Saiyan, whatever, you power down. So the angels can do that. Now, like the angels did that when they came to Abraham and Sarah.
Yep.
He said, "I will return to you in a matter of time, certain time period," and that was Isaac. Isaac was born from Abraham, seed of Abraham, through Sarah. Angel said he's going to return to Abraham at a certain time period. So that was Yahweh Shai that Abraham met. All right. I'm looking right at this right now. Isaiah 46:10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So that means all the prophecies will fail. All right? All the prophecies will fail, which means be fulfilled. All right? Give me that where Paul said that. Prophecy's going to fail. All right. Says,
Can you get it?
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Yeah, real quick, I had that account from
Abraham or
Abraham.
Abraham.
So it says Genesis chapter 18:10. It says, or we can start at verse 9. It says, and they said unto him, where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife.
9 months. Yeah, well, he basically just saying it. It's plain. It's in plain English. Hebrew, good.
And it says, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son.
Yeah, that's talking about, that was Yahweh Shai that Abraham was talking to. He was talking to Yahweh Shai. Talking to the Lord, Melchizedek. What?
And it says, and Sarah heard it.
Which means king of righteousness. What?
It says, and Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind it.
Sarah heard it. And she laughed, right? That's how you got his name?
Yeah, it says, now, it says verse 11, now, it says, now, Abraham and Sarah were old, and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying,
Oh, she didn't even say it out loud. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nah,
Laughed
yeah.
within herself.
Hey,
That was an angel. So you can't go up a little bit when they first came in.
Con.
So get the kid, they slaved it, I think they fed him and all that. So a Christian was, these fake ass Christians are stupid as hell. This is obviously an angels visiting Abraham. Go ahead.
Con. So it says Abraham, or Genesis chapter 18:1, and the Lord Yahweh appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day, and he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him, and when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door and bowed himself toward the ground. That says verse 3.
Yeah, so he knew they weren't regular men, right?
God, it says verse 3, and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy
And
sight.
he called him Lord. All right, so that they had superior rank in Abraham. All right, it might be Adawan there or something, another word. So you can't say that these are just regular men whom other Hebrews that just wandered in from his lineage. No, these were angels that were in a depowered humanoid state.
God, the word is Adunya.
Adanya?
God, so it says.
My Lord.
Okay. So it says, Genesis chapter 18:3, and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort ye your hearts. After that ye shall pass on, for therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, So do as thou hast said.
Yeah, so they created a body just for that moment. They could digest, they could go to the bathroom, they could cry, all that. That's the power of the angels. They can create actual unique physical body right there on the spot. Coming from the spirit world, another dimension.
Yep.
Yeah, hey, that's for
They cut himself and start bleeding and everything.
Yep.
Have his unique DNA, fingerprints, and all that.
Yeah, that's what the angels did with Lot as well. They came.
Oh, yeah.
They came in that
Right,
human form. So.
Yeah, even Yahushua, when he came back, after he got, of course, risen up, when he came back onto the disciples, well, he couldn't come in his full power state. He had to come in pretty much, as the elder said, a depowered state.
And when he came back with a different. He made them see a different face.
Yeah, disguise.
They didn't recognize him. He thought it was some Israelite that was just dumb. Like, you don't know what the hell's going on. The Lord just got crucified. So he's basically Yahushua just playing stupid, and he changed his face. So either he might have shapeshifted, or he just projected something in their mind and saw something different.
Yeah. Hey, that's yeah. That's where Esau gets shape-shifting from.
Yeah.
So it says Genesis chapter 18:6, and Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal.
Right. So if you ain't doing that, then you ain't going to be saved if you're a woman. See how Abraham commanded his house? Well, give me that. So I know that Abraham will command his household. I think it's like, is it 12 and 1? Just look it up. I know Abraham will command.
Genesis 18.
Is it 18? All right, so let's
Yeah.
follow down that. So read that first. Read that.
Genesis.
So it's the same chapter. You said. Go ahead.
Or I'll start at actually 8.
For I
18.
know that Abraham.
Yep. Genesis 18:18. Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him.
Yeah, all the Israelites that are dwelling in all nations. That this is the beginning of how the Israelites became Gentiles. It was always prophesied. I just read that. Declaring that Isaiah 46:10. Declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So in other words, everything happens for a reason. These are the genesis of things that you're confused of why these things are happening. Well, there's a genesis to it.
Yep.
All right. You're confused of why somebody fell out of camp. Well, there's a reason for that. Why God's saying all these wayward doctrines, preaching with hats on, preaching politically correct, trying to get along with everybody. These are reasons these things are going to happen. These things are happening because they're not of the elect, and it's going to. And the Lord is causing controversy. All right, and you have some people that you thought of the elect are not going to be of the elect. Some people that you thought that weren't of the elect are going to be of the elect. All right, that's the Lord's controversy. Go ahead.
Yep. Genesis 18 and 19. It says, "For I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him."
Yeah. So the brother just read, he would command his household. Look up command.
Yep.
All right, and I read that. I told him to read that because he just said he went into the tent and told Sarah to cook. All right, so we can get Isaiah 4th chapter also. All right, so if you had a problem with serving your husband and serving the guest and coming to your home, you ain't gonna be delivered.
Yep.
All right? You're gonna get right when you have to get right. I know that.
Tazawah.
Yeah. Go ahead, read it.
Yeah, so the word in the Hebrew, tazawah, for command, it says, to command, charge, give orders, lay charge, give charge to order.
Yeah, so you gotta take orders. It's like we take orders, the woman guys take the orders to be saved. You have to have a sense of duty. All right, when the martial law comes, the famines, the cities getting cut off, the implants, because remember, taking the implant is you're basically pledging allegiance to Satan. Whatever he tell you to do, you got to do. It's not going to be business as usual. All right? You got to take heed to whatever counsel and instruction the devil tells you to do. It's not going to be like how it is today. People going to the stores and but everybody got the implant. No, it's going to be a totalitarian system. It's going to be a lot of destruction and evil going on at the time. All right, it's not going to be just business as usual. You know how we know that? Because the elect are going to be on the damn run. That's how we know it ain't going to be business as usual. People actually think it's going to be business as usual? No. But the elect are going to be on the run. There's going to be insurrections, seditions, explosions, fires, with the implant. Being the people that have taken it are going to take it, and it's going to be different chaotic situations, commotions, so wars and commotions. That's going to be taking place. So it's not going to be business as usual. It's impossible. That's not what it's going to be. It's going to be commotions, wars and commotions. What?
Yep. And I'll go to the Strong's definitions.
No, read it again.
Oh, read it again? All right, to command, charge, give orders, lay charge, give charge to order. Yep. It says to lay charge upon, to give charge to, command to give charge over, appoint, to charge, commission, to command, appoint, ordain, of divine act, to be commanded.
All right. That's good. That's sufficient.
Yep.
Go back to
Gone. To read it real quick in NLT, it says Genesis chapter 18 and 6. So Abraham ran back to the tent and said to Sarah, "Hurry, get thee large measures of your best flour, knead it into dough, and bake some bread." So yeah, he didn't come bowing down and saying, "Please, Sarah, can you make some?" No, he said he said straightforward.
Yep.
Continue.
Gone. So it says Genesis chapter 18 and 7 back in the KJV. It says, "And Abraham ran onto the herd and fetched a calf tender and good." It says, and gave it unto a young man, and he hasted it, or it says, and he hasted to dress it for a sake, and he took butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. So it says verse 9, "And they said unto him, Where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and to cease to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, it says, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? It says verse 13, and the Lord Yahweh said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a surety bear a child which am old? It says verse 14, is it anything too hard, or so like it says, is anything too hard for the Lord Yahweh? At the time appointed I will return unto thee, according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, nay, but thou didst laugh.
Right, so he read her mind. He knew that she laughed. All right, the key word was laugh within herself. Can we look that up within herself, or we may not display it?
Probably
word.
Pakarab, maybe get it. It's gone.
So you can't look at the Bible as just a carnal book, a spiritual book. All right. As Scripture says, the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold unto sin. You have it?
Yeah. It says ba korab, which goes back to the root word korab, which means midst, among, inner part. It also says inward part, as seat of thought and emotion, as faculty of thought and emotion.
Yeah, so Yahweh Shai read her mind, or the other angel read her mind, probably Yahweh Shai, right? More likely, yeah, he was the chief speaker, he's the Lord, and read her mind, and she laughed, and Isaac, and the child's name was named Isaac, which I believe means laughter.
Yep.
Get Isaiah 8. Did I call for anything else?
Yeah, you wanted that 1 Corinthians 13 and 8.
Yeah, read that. Isaiah 8 and 13.
1 Corinthians 13 and 8. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail.
Right, so the breakdown on that is that means they will be fulfilled. All right? But someone that's a hater of the scriptures would say, well, that means certain prophecies won't come to pass. No, it means that they're going to be fulfilled. All right? Read it again.
1 Corinthians 13 and 8. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away.
Yeah, so we're going to understand it fully. So we know in part, prophesy in part. All right, get Isaiah.
So this is Isaiah chapter 8 and 13. Sanctify the Lord Yahweh of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, let him be your dread. Is that verse 13, right?
No, 8. Isaiah 8
Yeah.
and 13.
That was it.
Sanctify the Lord.
Yeah. I can read it again.
Yeah, continues. Four verses.
So to read it again, it says Isaiah chapter 8 and 13. Sanctify the Lord Yahweh of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, for a gin, and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
All right, so both the houses of Israel are the northern kingdom, southern kingdom. All right. So we know that eventually they have to come back together. All right. Continue. Verse you want?
15 now.
Go ahead.
So it says Isaiah chapter 8 and 15. And many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken.
14 again.
God says 14. And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
So that's Yahweh Shai. Right, so the controversy over Yahweh Shai, over his teachings. All right. And Paul, Peter, the disciples, the apostles, all right, they get their doctrine from Yahweh Shai. So that's the stone of stumbling, their teachings. Yahweh Shai's teachings and the teachings of the apostles. That was Paul's was chief among them. Although he wasn't numbered with the 12, but he was the chief apostle. All right, for stone and stumbling. I mean, they're not going to look up stumbling and a rock of offense. So you offended. So when you hear the words of Yahweh Shai, you're offended. All right. The Lord set the house in order with the father, the son, the man, and the wife and the children. So that's an offense. So you say that's the order today, then the modernist will believe that you're being a misogynist or you're being unreasonable and unfair. All right.
Gone. So it says the Hebrew word for stumbling within the Hebrew is nagap, which means blow, striking, plague. It also says a trip of the foot, figuratively, an affliction of disease, plague, stumbling.
All right. Yeah. So you're not going to be able to comprehend. You're not going to be able to stay on the path of righteousness. You're going to meet, stumbling, impediments in your way for you to get the full understanding of Yahweh Shai. 15th verse. It says for a gin and a snare, which is a trap, traps to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. All right. So Yahweh Shai's teachings are going to make Israel not be able to be saved ultimately. All right. So they're trapped because they can't accept the words of Yahweh Shai, his teachings, which are his prophecies. All right. Go ahead, 15.
So it says Isaiah chapter 8 and 15, and many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken.
Yeah, because they can't understand the teachings of Yahweh Shai. You got certain Israelite groups that are trying to be politically correct. You got certain Israelite groups that are using non-Hebrew names to call upon the name of the Lord. You know, why don't you even use a Hebrew name? Why are you calling Jesus Christ? That's not even a Hebrew name. Right?
Yeah, meanwhile amongst them, they have Hebrew names.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Then you got some groups that believe that we're fully in the new covenant, which you're insane if you believe that. There's always a schism. Right, you want to say something? Or I continue?
So it says, Isaiah chapter 8 and 16, bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples.
Yeah, the testimony, which is the law. All right. The word spoken. Look up our testimony. Testament, a record.
So it says the Hebrew word for testimony is ta'ai wada. Yes, it says ta'ai wada or ta'ai wada, which means testimony, attestation, confirmation, injunction. It also says i.e. a precept, or it says attestation, i.e. a precept.
A what?
Precept.
Precept.
Yeah, precept.
So the script, the law, prophets, Psalms. All right. Can I continue?
So it says Isaiah chapter 8 and 17, and I will wait upon the Lord Yahweh that hideth his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him.
Right. So the Lord. So that's why Jake can't get it. They want the Lord to come himself and declare that we got the truth. But that's not going to happen because the Lord said he hides. All right. He only, the scripture say he reveals the secret to the servants.
Yeah.
Amos.
Yeah, I got something for that.
And it said, but look up bind. The first word
Yeah.
in the 16th verse.
It's got
Bind
precept.
up the law. Bind up the prophecies. Well, read it.
This is Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Yep. Things not seen.
Yep.
All right, so that means they're going to be within your mind. All right, they're going to be carried out, in reality. But within your mind's reality, you're going to have a connection to the Holy Spirit.
Wow.
All right, which you can prove.
Yep.
All right. There's more you want to read, or?
Oh, that was it. That was it. Yep.
What?
Gone. So it says the Hebrew word for bind from Isaiah chapter 8 and 16 is the Hebrew word tazarwar, or tazarwar, which means to be. It says be narrow, be in distress, cause distress, besiege, be straitened, be bound. It also says to show hostility towards,
To bind.
vex.
It means to bind. All right. Read again.
Gone. The
Different-
verse.
Well, use a different word. No, the definition.
Gone. So it says, the Hebrew word for bind is tazarwar, which means gone. So it says to make narrow for, cause distress to, press hard upon, to suffer distress. It also says,
So read from the top.
gone. So from the top it says be narrow, be in distress.
Yeah, let's just start off from the top. Go ahead.
Gone. And gone. So from the top it says be narrow, be in distress, make narrow, cause distress, besiege, be straitened, be bound. And also goes into Tazawar goes into, it says enemy. You have vex, afflict, adversary, and trouble.
So you just use a synonym for bind. All right. Synonym for bind. Look up seal.
Gone. So seal. Is the Hebrew word chatham, which means affix a seal, seal up, fasten up by sealing, to lock up, make an end, to be stopped, to close up.
When you read your definition, you got to read it within the context of the
Got it.
actual precept. Give clarification. All right. Look up disciples.
The Hebrew word for disciples is lamawad. Yeah, which means learned, taught, discipled, accustomed to something.
All right. Disciples. So those are all relevant words. When you read bind, not all those words are relevant.
Gone.
All right. They're in different contexts. And he's reading the root word. All right. Give me John 3. No, John, the first chapter.
This is John, the first chapter.
Give me 1 and 20. 1 and 26. We'll read on down.
John 1 and 26. It says, John answered them, saying, I baptize with water, but there standeth one among you whom ye know not. He it is who coming after me is preferred before me, whose shoes latchet I am not worthy to unloose. These things were done in Bethabara beyond Jordan, where John was baptizing.
Right. Now go up to 12. No, 11.
John 1 and 11. He came unto his own, and his own received him not.
Yeah, meaning that the majority of Israel rejected him while he was living. But he got more disciples after he passed away and was resurrected. What?
Verse 12. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of Yahweh, even to them that believe on his name.
Right, which is Yahweh Shai. Right, the sons of God are sons of Yahweh. Upon Yahweh. What?
Verse 13, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of Yahweh.
It was born, 14.
Yep, 14.
So he was born, he was created. What?
Yep, verse 14. And the word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth.
Right, only begotten of the Father. All right, which means monogenes. All right, which means one gene or one birth. I looked that up. Only begotten.
Yeah, so it says of the only begotten, monogenes.
All right, not genus, monogenes. All right, monogenes. You know, there's no just sound in the Greek or the Hebrew. All right, so when you pronounce that word, make sure you do not say genus. All right, let's see, monogenes. No, for the viewers, whatever. All right, go ahead.
So it says used of only sons or daughters, viewed in relation to the parents. It also says used of a Mashiach, denotes to the only begotten son of the Most High.
There you go. So they're not the same people. All right, they're not the same beings or existing ones. They are different. Only begotten, monogenes, like the brother said. He said monogenes, and the word was made flesh. All right. So he had a physical form, and he still has a physical form. It's just we can't see him in full force yet, but we will. Go ahead, continue to read.
John 1 and 15. John bare witness of him and cried, saying, This was he of whom I spake. He that cometh after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. And of his fullness we received, and grace for grace. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Yahweh Shah HaMashiach.
Right, meaning we were under, like we read last week, we were under the schoolmaster. All right, so we don't reject the schoolmaster's teachings. We continue with the schoolmaster's teachings, and what we can't keep that the schoolmaster taught us, then we're covered by grace. All right, but we don't abandon the teachings of the schoolmaster just because we're not in class anymore. We still have all the knowledge of the schoolmaster, what he taught us. All right, continue.
John 1 and 18. No man has seen Yahweh at any time.
Yeah, meaning in his full power, Father.
Right.
His full force. Moses had to see the back parts.
Yep.
Of him. All right. And he was still depowered. All right. Because he was still in the flesh as a man. Yep.
John 1 and 18. No man has seen Yahweh at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him.
Yeah, there we go. Only begotten Son again. All right, monogenes. What?
Verse 19. And this is the record of John, when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, Who art thou?
Yeah, because the Levites are supposed to know. According to the prophecy, and they did know. They knew exactly what the prophecy was and is. He's going to come out of Bethlehem. Right? He was born in Bethlehem, I'm not mistaken. Right? Bethlehem.
Yep, Bethlehem.
He was raised in Nazareth.
Yep.
Yeah. Right, continue.
Yep. Verse 19. No, Salak. Verse 20. And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I am not the Hamashiach. And they asked him, What then, art thou Elias? And he saith, I am not. Art thou that prophet?
Because he might have been born. I don't know if it says where John was born at, but he may have been born in Bethlehem, because they're related. I believe John and the Lord are cousins, I believe. All right. So continue.
Yep. John 1 and 21. And they asked him.
And was he a Judite or a Levite?
It says John the Baptist was the son of Zacharias and Elizabeth, the forerunner of Hamashiach. Yeah.
He might have been a Judite. I forget. But you can continue reading. But you
Yep.
find out whether he's a Judite or a Levite. You probably can't find out where he was born, but you probably can find out if he's a Judite or a Levite. I believe the elders went through this before.
Yep.
Continue.
John 1 and 21. And they asked him, What then, art thou Elias? And he saith, I am not. Art thou that prophet? And he answered, No. Then said they unto him, Who art thou, that we may give an answer to them that sent us? What sayest thou of thyself? He said, I am the voice of one crying in the wilderness, make straight the way of the Lord, as said the prophet Isaiah. And they,
23 is, get where the Lord, where Isaiah said that. It might be in Isaiah 57. But you have something?
Gone. It says, what tribe was John the Baptist from? John's parents, Zacharias and Elizabeth, were of the tribe of Levi, and were also descendants of the family of Aaron.
What's their relation?
It says,
I believe they're related. You can find that. You can find it. It says it?
Yeah, or it also says John was a Nazarite, well, from his birth. I'm trying to see where he was exactly born.
You can continue, John.
yeah, John 1:24. And they which were sent were of the Pharisees, and they asked him and said unto him, Why baptizest thou then, if thou be not that Hamashiach, nor Elias, neither that prophet? John answered them, saying, I baptize with water, but there standeth one among you whom ye know not. He it is who coming after me is preferred before me, whose latchet I am not worthy to unloose. These things were done in Bethabara, beyond Jordan, where John was baptizing. The next day John seeth Yahushua coming unto him, and saith, Behold, the Lamb of Yahweh, which taketh away the sin of the world.
Right. So the world is you could say maybe back then it may have been a good word to use, but since the world has been so adulterated, it's not a good word to use there. All right. But the word in Greek is cosmo, which cosmo, which means sum of many sorts. You can look that up. Cosmo is the word there in cosmos. Cosmos is the root word. But you can look that up. But you give me the information that you have.
Gone. So it says, was John the Baptist related to Yahushua? It says, yes, we know they were related because John's mother, Elizabeth, was a cousin of Yahushua's mother, Mary.
Yeah. Read it again. Well, it's a precept on that, though. I believe it is a precept. But read it again.
Gone. So it says, was John the Baptist related to Yahushua? It says, answer, yes, we know they were related because John's mother, Elizabeth, was a cousin of Yahushua's mother, Mary.
World.
Yep. So the word for world is cosmos. It says an apt and harmonious arrangement or constitution, order, government.
Right. Those are the Israelites. All right. So it says, behold, the Lamb of God that taketh away the sins of the world. All right. Constitution and government. So these are organized people. All right. Not just any person. All right. Which scripture says what I rock. In Psalms it says, I would set them in order before thine eyes. Go ahead.
Yep. John 1:30. This is he of whom I said, after me cometh the man which is preferred before me.
No, the definition.
Oh, that's a lot. All right, yep. So, yeah, the word for is cosmos. It says an apt and harmonious arrangement.
Yeah, harmony. Together, harmony. All speaking the same thing. Good.
It says an apt and a harmonious arrangement or constitution, order, government.
Order of government. Not you in homosexuality. You can be a part of the church. That's not harmonious, orderly. That's out of order and disharmony. Good.
Yep. It says ornament, decoration, adornment, the arrangement.
Something beautiful that you will wear, that you will put on and make you look and enhance your beauty. How are you going to be a sodomite or you have different doctrines all together? That's confusion. So we can't be talking about everybody on the earth that has an opportunity to be. No. Right? It's talking about specifically the elect, and then you have the Israelites as a whole. What?
Yep, it says ornament, decoration, adornment, the arrangement of the stars, the heavenly hosts as the ornament of the heavens.
Right, but not in this context. What?
Yep. It says the ungodly multitude, the whole mass of men alienated from Yahweh, and
Right. You can use that context, but not in this context of the scripture, but you can use that. What?
And therefore hostile.
Because they ain't gonna be saved, so it's not talking about. It's not in this context.
Yep. And therefore hostile to the cause of Hamashiach.
What?
World affairs, the aggregate of things earthly, the whole circle of earthly goods, endowment, riches, advantages,
Nope. What?
pleasures,
Not in this context. What?
which although hollow with and frail and fleeting, stir desire, seduce from Yahweh and are obstacles to the cause of Hamashiach.
What?
Any aggregate or general collection of particulars of any sort.
That's a decent definition. Not any, but in this context, particulars of read that again.
Any aggregate or general collection of particulars of any sort.
General collection of basically different Israelites that are scattered within the different nations of the earth, into the different cultures. So the Lord taking some out of every nation on the earth. And those Israelites that are in those nations are being called those nations, and they adapted some of their culture, if not all of it. But at a certain time period, they're going to wake up they're going to wake up and know that they're Israelites if they're of the elect. All right, and if they're not of the elect and they don't wake up, they're going to be told that they're Israelites in those nations. All right. What?
It says the Gentiles as contrasted to the Jews.
Well, the Gentiles in contrast to the Jews, and probably citing Romans 11 or something like that.
Romans 11
That's
and 12.
talking about the Israelites that were not circumcised. All right, Israelites that were not circumcised. All right, they were coming back into the fold. They were being reinstituted back into the root, which they were originally a part of. They were branches that broke off, so they didn't have any salvation. But now they got back onto the olive tree, so now they can take part in the root. The root is Yahweh Shai. The other nations, they were never part of the tree, the olive tree. They were never part of the olive tree. Look up an olive tree picture, put it on camera. They were never part of that. Simply, they were never part of the olive tree. All right. Only the Israelites were originally a part of the olive tree. All right, and they broke off and they became heathens, meaning their behavior, their acts, their uncircumcision, their gods they worshipped. All right, because the heathen actually have a destination. They're going to be in slavery. All right. So all the prophecy has to be fulfilled. All the prophecy has not been fulfilled. All right. The other nations didn't go into slavery. Yeah, so you look up that olive tree, you had the Israelites, they broke off and they became Gentiles. And then what the Lord did was he through his death and resurrection, he allowed the Israelites to be, that broke off from the olive tree, to be grafted back in. All right? Yeah, just show a decent looking one. All right? So they broke off, so the Gentiles were regular Israelites that were keeping the laws, that knew about the Most High, Yahweh. Then they worshipped idols, and the Lord broke them off from knowing who they were, from the law,
Yep.
from the faith. All right? And it tells you that in what Jeremiah, about the branches, fire. The Lord put fire on the branches and they're broken off. The branches are broken. Is that Jeremiah? Isaiah.
Gone, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah? It's 11 or something like that?
Yeah, 11.
Yeah.
Gone. So it says, Jeremiah chapter 11 and 16. The Lord Yahweh called thy name a green olive tree,
Only the Israelites are called the olives. All right?
fair and of goodly fruit, with the noise of a great tumult. He hath kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken.
Yeah. So that's how the Israelites became Gentiles. All right? That's how they became Gentiles. Let me pull one of my favorite ones out. Get Genesis 35 and 11.
Oh yeah, also I was able to find that account from.
No, well, read it. You got it?
Yeah.
Go.
Gone. So it says, Luke chapter 1 and 30. And the angel said unto her, Fear not, Mary, for thou hast found favor with the Most High. And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb, and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Yahushai. And he shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And the Lord power shall give unto him the throne of his father David, and he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever.
Sure. Yeah, it proves that he's the son of David. He's of the seed of David. Right? His father David. He's reigning over his father David. Yeah. So, yeah, here you go. Go on, read it.
God, it says, And of his kingdom there shall be no end. Then said Mary unto the angel, How shall this be, seeing I know not a man? And the angel answered us.
That's where the Catholics come in and say, they never had sex. That's right where they injected that. That's what we just read in Isaiah, stone and stumbling and rock of offense. So you got everybody that don't understand the truth stumbling over, meaning they're not getting the full breadth of the knowledge to be saved, and just the correct information in general about the Lord's birth, death, and resurrection. What?
Yeah, that's why the scriptures say how the secrets are given unto the servants or prophets, and not unto everybody. So it says, Luke chapter 1 and 35, and the angel answered and said unto her, The Holy Spirit shall come up.
No, read the verse again. What the stumbling verse?
Gone. It says, Luke chapter 30, Luke chapter 1 and 34. Then said Mary unto the angel, How shall this be, seeing I know not a man?
So we all supposed to teach that Mary was never had sex now, because it says she don't know a man. Good.
It says, And the angel answered and said unto her, The Holy Spirit shall come upon thee, and the power of the highest shall overshadow thee. Therefore also that holy thing which shall be born of thee shall be called the Son of the Most High.
Right. And Mary wasn't saying that I already had sex and I'm not pregnant by a man. She simply said she's not married yet. That's all it's saying. She's not married yet. Right? So it wasn't saying that she never that wasn't an admission that she never had sex. It is just an admission that she's not married yet.
So it says, Luke chapter 1 and 36, And behold, thy cousin Elizabeth, she hath also conceived a son in her old age, and this is the 6 months, and this is the 6th month with her, who was called barren.
All right, so they're roughly around the same age then, probably.
Yeah.
They're roughly around the same age. So read that verse. What verse were you in?
36.
36. You got there though?
Yeah, I was about to say, when you get that word for cousin within the Greek, it's a Greek word, genes, sun genes, which means of the same kin, and kin too related by blood, in a wider sense of the same nation, fellow countrymen. Yeah, so, then I was also reading some answers. It doesn't literally mean they were, direct cousins, but, just kinsmen or related. Yeah, but the point is that they're still related.
They're related,
yeah.
They're closer related than like another Israelite.
Yeah,
But Jacob just called him your cousin anyway.
Yeah, that's how. So it says, Luke chapter 1 and 36, And behold, thy cousin Elizabeth, she hath also conceived a son in her old age, and this is the 6th month with her, who was called barren, for with the Most High nothing shall be impossible. And Mary said, Behold, the handmaid of the Lord, be unto me.
Elizabeth was older, okay? But Mary was not. Mary was not older. So that was her older cousin, Elizabeth. What?
Kind of says, and Mary said.
So she probably would have been like in her late 20s, maybe. Older. Or might be in her 30s or 40s. What?
God says, and Mary said, Behold, the handmaid of the Lord, be it unto me according to thy word. And the angel departed from her.
All right, that's the account. Here's the account. What else? That's how you get something?
Genesis 35 and 11.
Yeah.
This is Genesis 35 and 11. And Yahweh said unto him, I am Yahweh Almighty, be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins.
Yeah, the other Israelites. Nation, look up nations. So it's Goyim. Goyim.
Sure.
35 and 11.
Read the verse again.
Yep. Genesis 35 and 11. And Yahweh said unto him, I am Yahweh Almighty, be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins.
Yeah. And who was that talking about? Jacob? Yeah,
It's Jacob. Yeah, Jacob.
So who did Jacob give birth to?
That's when
he gave birth. No, who did Jacob give birth to? He gave birth to sons. So all those sons in a reincarnation, they gave birth to kings. All right. They didn't give birth to Edomites and Moabites, Ishmael. This is Jacob.
Yep.
So he's directly talking about Israelites being Gentiles. He's directly talking about this. So read the verse again. And read the verse up. And then read.
Yep. This is Genesis 35 and 10. And Yahweh said unto him, thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name.
And that's where his name was changed. Yashar Allah from Yahweh. What?
And he called his name Israel.
Which means Prince of Allah. Yashar Allah, which is God, Prince of God. Prince God. What?
Verse 10. And Yahweh said unto him, thy name, Salakia. Verse 11. And Yahweh said unto him, I am Yahweh Almighty, be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins.
What the hell does that mean? Break that down.
Yeah, the NLT breaks it down even more.
Even more, wow. See? So what does that mean? Read that verse, read it again. KJV.
Yep. Genesis 35 and 11. And Yahweh said unto him, I am Yahweh Almighty, be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins.
So what does that mean? A nation, Israelites, other Israelites,
yep.
and they're labeled Gentiles, company of Gentiles. So you don't have to put nation, you can put Gentiles there. So read it to say Gentiles. Just read it and say the word Gentile.
Con. Genesis 35 and 11. And Yahweh said unto him, I am Yahweh Almighty, be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of Gentiles shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins.
Read it again, say Gentile.
Con. Genesis 35 and 11. And Yahweh said unto him, I am Yahweh Almighty, be fruitful and multiply. A Gentile and a company of Gentiles shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins.
The words are interchangeable. Gentile, nations, you look it up. In the Hebrew, you'll get the same word in Greek and Hebrew, but in English will interchange with nation. Well, you can look it up right there in the blue letter. It'll give you the amount of times it says Gentile, and the amount of times it says nation. So look that up.
Gone. So it says the Hebrew word for nation is gawaya, which means, it says nation 374 times.
Mm-hmm.
Within the KJV, it also says heathen 143 times, Gentiles 30 times, people 11 times.
Yeah. So they're interchangeable. All right. So the whole word there, is it goyim? You looked up the root. Look up the Mesoteric text. Is it goyim or goyim?
Gone. It says gawaya.
Yeah. How many? What's the second one?
Or not? Yeah. Second one is gawayim.
So goyim and goyim.
Gone.
Yeah. So those are the Israelites. All right. So read it in the other version.
Gone. So it says in NLT for Genesis chapter 35 and 11. It says, then the Most High said, I am El Shaddai, or Al Shaddai, which literally means you know.
It says Al Shaddai in the Hebrew.
In the Hebrew it says Al Shaddai, which it doesn't just mean God Almighty. You know, when you go into it, of course, it can also mean a demon-like power. But literally, when you go into the word for Shad, it means destruction or to spoil. So literally, the God of destruction. So it says in the NLT, then the Most High said, I am Al Shaddai, God Almighty, be fruitful and multiply. You will become a great nation, even many nations. Kings will be among your descendants.
Yep.
So, hey, yeah.
Become a great nation. You become many nations. Read it again.
It says, Genesis chapter 35 and 11, in the NLT, then the Most High said, I am Al-Shadia, God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. You will become a great nation, even many nations.
So you become many nations. The Lord said we were going to become many nations. What?
Kings will be among your descendants.
There you go. So we're not just one nation, we're many nations. All right, so you got the northern kingdom, southern kingdom. That's the first time it happened. All right. Then, while that was happening, you had Israelites that were going to other countries and setting up shop in other countries during all those time periods. That's why you had the law of the stranger. All right, the law of the stranger was put up just because of that prophecy. All right. So when the Israelites come back to the main camp or to our sovereign country, they had rights. They had a certain amount of rights. All right. Not every Israelite stayed within the borders of Israel, which is very small. Now you have industrious Israelites that don't want to be around other. They want to do business. Some of them went to other countries and got rich. You know, started businesses. Went to different clothing business, shipping. All right, not every. So you have simpletons that believe if you were this race, you stay in this area. If you're that race, you stay in that area. These are fucking dimwits. All right. It's not how international business works. That's not how people's minds work. People are industrious. They want to. You got people coming from other countries coming to America, and you got other people that don't want to come to fucking America. All right. That's how all nations are.
Yeah.
Right? You got some people that are industrious that want to start businesses elsewhere for new opportunities. They want to sell their wares. They have a good idea. They want to make money, or they want to go out and worship gods of other nations and be fucking heathens. They want to go out and do that too. You about to say something?
Yeah, Connie. I was lucky. I was about to say, you know, even you got people coming here, you know, what they're born here, even though they're, you know, descendants or their parents go back from another nation, they have American citizenship.
Right. Yeah. You got people that become expats.
Yeah.
Leave America and go to Southeast Asia. The cost of living is more affordable, you know, and the women are more reasonable. So you got a lot of Americans, all right. So either Esau been doing that, but you got Jake's doing it now. The past 15 years, 20 years. It increased with more Israelites going to other countries like Asia specifically, and setting up shop in Asia, and they having children with them women. Like it's one YouTuber I watch, he got his Thai girl pregnant. So that child's gonna grow up looking like a blazing, how they call it. All right, he gonna blend in. All right, he gonna look their same complexion, because the dude's not that dark. All right, and you got some of them that are really dark, Southeast Asians, and some of them that are lighter. All right. So if he wants to come back to America, he would get American citizenship based upon his father.
Yep.
All right. Well, however the laws work. All right. But in relative to Israelites, so if the law of the stranger, the gar, if you come back to the main camp, you just have to prove your lineage, and then you can get certain inherited rights within your land, amongst the land of Israel. Right? That's what the law of strangers is about. That's not a law for a heathen person. All right, because the stranger can get circumcised and take part of the Passover. All right, that's an Israelite. Now a stranger that's not an Israelite can get circumcised, but he can't take part in the Passover. All right, and it breaks it down in the 12th chapter of Exodus, I believe. All right. So the servants are supposed to be circumcised, even if they're slaves, bond slaves, but they can't take part in the Passover.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know, that's a good point, because literally somebody was telling me how
it's two different strangers and Gentiles. It's two different. It's ones that are Israelites and ones that are actual heathens. You just have to use your wisdom and Holy Spirit to discern between them, and it's context clues. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know, literally recently, somebody was telling me how to obtain, or you know, how to obtaining, you know, German, citizenship works. So it says, in general, German citizenship is not established through birth on German territory, but by descent from a German legal mother or a German legal father. So hey, you know, it relates onto Israel, you know, because
Lineage, right?
yeah, obviously you know, if you're coming back onto the land, you got to prove it by your descendants, you know.
Yeah. All right, a few more scriptures and we'll wrap up. That was good, 35 and 11. What was the number, 48? Genesis 48. You got to go back over the same topics over and over again. We ain't going to stop in a minute. So.
Good.
48 and 19.
Genesis 48 and 19
18.
and 18. And Joseph said unto his father, not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. And his father refused and said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But surely his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations.
So in the Hebrew, it's many. Is it Goyim? For multitude of nations?
God, multitude is Mala'ah, or Malat.
Malat? All right, sure.
Yeah, Mala'ah, like that's how you spell it out.
All right.
So it says Malat Hagawayam, and Malat means to fill, to be full. So literally, getting the word is things Lord enough. So it says fullness, handful, mass, multitude, that which fills entire contents, full length, full line. So pretty much a fullness in nations.
Fullness nations, huh? Sure. One more in 22. I think so. Highlighted stuff. Oh yeah, we got 23rd chapter, 23, and we'll start from 1.
Genesis 23 and 1. And Sarah was 107 and 20 years old. These were the years of the life of Sarah.
Sarah was 127?
God.
Man, yeah. Good.
Verse 2. And Sarah died in Kirjatharba. The name is Hebron in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her.
Yep.
And Abraham stood up from before his dead and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and sojourner with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight.
Yeah, meaning he's in the area that they currently dwell. So look up stranger, sojourner. All right, so the first strangers were Israelites. Again, the children of the sons of the promise, children of the promise. And you can't equate something from our Genesis with everybody. All right, that was a name that was put on us. Stranger. Stranger and sojourner. Those are Israelites that live in different areas. During this time, we were dwelling in tents. All right, we had no homeland. The Lord didn't give us Jerusalem back yet. I believe David took Jerusalem. Did David take Jerusalem? I think David might have conquered Jerusalem. I don't think Saul did. We can look it up. Who conquered? Did Saul conquer? Did David take Jerusalem? It was called Jubus, I believe, back then. But I want you to look up sojourner and stranger. And another brother look up who took Jerusalem.
Yeah, it says, as Israel's second king David built a small empire, he conquered Jerusalem, which he made Israel's political and religious center.
Right, but it wasn't called Jerusalem. It was the original Hebrew Canaanite name. Yahweh Shalom. Yahweh Shalom. It wasn't called, it's in Genesis somewhere.
Jebus?
Jubas? Yeah,
Or Jubas?
Jubas, yeah.
Siege of Jebus.
Let me get, let me get the Hebrew.
It says...
Give me a precept, and then give me the Hebrew. It says it exactly like that. It's Jerusalem, which formerly was called, or something like that. That's how it works. I didn't look it up in years. This is in Genesis. I believe it was during Abraham. Abraham.
Yeah, so you have... Well, yeah, you got, I see accounts of Jebus and Judges and in First Chronicles.
Okay. But see if you find a precept. Yeah. I believe it worded it like that. It says, formerly was called, I might be mistaken. It was before it was called Jerusalem. It was called, well, we know it's Jubas. Well, it says it. Yeah, look it up in the Hebrew. Look up Jubas.
Oh, it said, okay. I think, yeah.
Now what the meaning of it. Yeah, so Israel named it Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim. All right? The Canaanites didn't name it that. David named it that. Or whoever was in charge of naming it. I don't think it really says. Or maybe David did name it. Name it Jerusalem. City of Peace.
Gone.
David was a bloody guy, warrior, cutthroat. So he probably named it that because, like, get some rest. You got something?
Yeah, it says Jerusalem in the Old Testament, and then got the scripture. Gone. It says Jerusalem in the Old Testament, Salem. The first occurrence of Jerusalem is in Joshua 10:1, but it says, but an allusion to Jerusalem appears in Genesis 14:18 with the reference to Melchizedek.
All right, so go to Judges then.
Okay.
And then look up the word and see if it goes back to Genesis somehow. Or it's going to go back to one of his sons, right? In Genesis 10. Jubas, one of the Canaanites. It may. You'll see how many scriptures it's used in. The Genesis precept should come up. Yeah, Joshua was in charge of exterminating the Canaanites, so it still had the ancient Hebrew Canaanite names, all the cities. So you got something?
God, I have. Yeah. So this is Joshua chapter 10:1. Now it came to pass when Adonai, it says Adonai-Zedek, king of Jerusalem, had heard how Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it, as he had done to Jericho and her king. So he had done to Ai and her king, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace for Israel, and were among them.
It just says Jerusalem. That doesn't answer the question.
Yeah.
Let's look it up. There's a precept. But look up Jubas in the Hebrew. I mean, it should be fairly easy to find. And it's a precept.
So to read Judges chapter 19 and 10, it says, but the man would not tarry that night. Well, yeah, we can just, it says, but the man would not tarry that night, but he rose and departed, and came up, it says, and came over against Jebus, which is Jerusalem, and there were with him 2 asses saddled. His concubine also was with him.
What does Jebus mean?
So Jebus,
how many times does it show up in it? Where does it first show up?
The first time it shows up is in Judges 19 and 10.
All right, what does it mean?
It means threshing place.
Threshing place. All right, so that's what the Canaanites called it. All right. Read the precept again.
So it says, Judges chapter 19 and 10, but the man would not tarry that night, but he rose up and departed, and came up against Jebus, which is Jerusalem, and there were with him 2 asses saddled. His concubine also was with him. It also says Jebus, there. It also says, yeah, the original name of Jerusalem. So that's what it says.
All right, yeah, precept. We will close up.
Did you still want the stranger and sojourner definitions?
Yeah, you read it.
Yeah. So the stranger in the Hebrew, garah. It says sojourner, a temporary inhabitant, a newcomer lacking inherited rights, of foreigners in Israel though conceded rights.
Okay. Stranger.
Then
so conceded rights.
Yep.
All right. So those are Israelites. The heathen don't have any rights. I mean, you can't come to the nation of Israel and get rights. All right. So these people are universalist. All right. They believe that everything's together. No, it's not inclusive. It's exclusive, not inclusive. All right.
I got a little bit more too on Jebus.
Okay.
So it says Jebus, an ancient name of Jerusalem, used in the time of the Canaanites. Yeah, Judges 19 and 10, verse 11, and 1 Chronicles chapter 1, or chapter 11, 4 through 5. It says the gent noun is Yabawasia, which is Jebusite. It says Canaanitish nation who inhabited that city with the neighboring mountains, conquered by David, still in existence in the time of Ezra.
There we go. So we know it's confirmed. All right, Jerusalem's, before it was named Jerusalem, it was a Hebrew Canaanite name, which means fleshing floor. Yeah, spirits. Foreigners in Israel. Okay. Look up sojourner.
Yeah.
Gar. So you got Gar. What's the H number of what you just read?
Let me look real quick. So the H number would be H1616.
All right. It's pronounced Gar.
Gar.
All right. That was strangers, right?
Gar. Yep.
Look up sojourner.
Sojourner.
Might be the same word or a variation, like 1615 or something, or 1617.
Yep.
What is it?
Yeah, it says Thawashab.
H what?
Oh, H8454.
84. That's a different H.
Wait,
H,
what?
8454.
8454.
You mean 5-3? H453. See?
Oh, Salakia. Yeah, H453. Salakia. Yeah.
H454. All right.
Yep. It says Thawashab. It says sojourner, stranger, and then in the Strongs, it says a dweller but not outlandish, especially as distinguished from a native citizen and a temporary inmate.
It made an Israelite who was not born there. All right.
It says
or they may be coming in and then leaving. All right. So if an Israelite that lived, let's say, in East Africa, they could come back and worship the Passover, but they have to be circumcised.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. Not everybody wanted to come back to the land and live there. They came back for high holy days. So that's why the law had to be established there, so they could be in order when they came back to the land. Then they would go back to where they lived, where they had their businesses at, where they set up their own communities. If they were in Egypt, they would come to Jerusalem or come to the land of Israel and worship the high holy days according to the law. It wasn't, that law wasn't open up for universalism for everybody to come in. All right. The scriptures clearly tell you that the Lord is going to put the other nations in slavery. All right. Revelation 2:25 on down. All right. Read something?
Yeah, Khan. So to get a little bit more on that definition for Thawashab, sojourner, it says a stranger and emigrant sojourning in a strange country where he is not naturalized. And when you get Khan, and when you get that word for emigrant within with the E, not with the I. Khan says, so it says emigrant A person who leaves their own country in order to settle permanently in another. So yeah, that's clear.
Yeah, so it depends on what the Israelite was doing. Was he coming to get land, or because he wanted to come back to the nation, or was he just coming for a high holy day? That's why the law is there. All right. So we explain who the Gentiles are. All right. You got something you want to read, or
that was it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
well, I could keep reading a little bit. It says,
as long as it's within context. All right.
yeah, it says in a resident, alien, foreigner, inhabitant, and then sojourner,
resident
stranger.
alien,
So.
and the aliens are the Israelites. All right. It tells you that they were separated from the Commonwealth, and then they're being brought back.
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna leave that there. Hope y'all were edified. Shalom. Till next week. Shalom.
So.